Geelong, the greatest.
Welcome back to the Geelong Cricket Show as we're joined by a very special guest, Colin Millard from the North Geelong Cricket Club. Colin, you started your cricket career down in Colac and you were recruited by one of the famous men of Colac.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I played all my junior cricket on Birregurra Cricket Club, which were only a hard wicket club. And when I was 16 last year at juniors, Tommy Buchanan, who was one of the main ones that got me on the board at City United to get me into A grade and play a bit of turf cricket there. So it was a good thing seeing all the Buchanan boys. I think one's won an AFL premiership and the other one's obviously played one-day cricket for Victoria. So they've gone on all right, the young fellas. But
your own cricket career has been a very enjoyable and successful one as well, Colin.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to be on the right end of a few good wins. Lucky enough to play in the first premiership at Geelong back in 93, 94, the first year in the thirds. Lucky enough also to get a first Div 1 premiership at Grovedale, so it's good.
To focus specifically on the team now, Colin, obviously you had a lot of young blokes in there last season, but to start the year you've gone 1-1 and a fantastic win that's going to breathe a lot of confidence through the side on the weekend against South Barwon. So you take, as I say, plenty of confidence from that and look to build on last season and possibly looking at finals as well this year.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we finished 7th last year, and it's been great to get the kids to come along, and we've picked up some good recruits over the year. It's always good to have a few good new players walk into the club that are going to help, but the kids are really good.
One of those recruits is obviously Andrew Ferguson. I don't know how many of your boys would have been too happy with him running around. Your first boy's running around in the twos, filling a role there, but you're expecting to have him back and fit for selection this week, which would be a huge boost considering that he's just such a quality player and probably one of the best players running around in the GCA.
Oh, definitely. To get Andrew Ferguson into the side, I think anybody'd have him at that level.
And Colin, one of the fundamentals that we've always respected quite strongly at North Geelong is they've had a wonderful and sound administration over the years with people like Roger Allen and Shane McGrath. And now this year, Marion, good morning, Marion Sponner has stepped up, like Alfie Clark. I mean, players that have stepped into the administrative roles give the club a lot of strength off the field as well.
Yeah, definitely, and that's one of the strong points of the club. Even when they had a couple of quiet years there, and they probably had Lee Mellington into that, who's current president.
Yes.
It's just amazing the amount of work those people, and it makes it very easy for people like myself. I can just worry about playing cricket on a Saturday. I don't have to worry about a lot of things thanks to that core group.
And how have you found the surface at Osborne Park since the last couple of seasons? It certainly has been one of the better surfaces under the drought conditions we've had in the GCA over the past couple of seasons.
Yeah, look, it's fantastic considering it's one of the grounds that hasn't been redone by the council. It's always had the couch covering and they've cut it a lot shorter, and it's been a beautiful surface to play on.
I spoke about that youth policy, obviously, Cole. Is that a directive that's coming from the top to have those young guys and obviously pushing them through and giving them the experience, or is it just the fact that out at North Geelong you're lucky enough, like the footy club as well, to have a lot of quality kids out there playing cricket for you?
I think it goes back to the quality structure, the good leadership they've got from the people off the ground. They do bring good juniors through. And it's just good to have those kids there, and why not give them a go if they're ready? And they're certainly ready. They've proved it so far this year.
For our viewers, Colin, your strengths in your game?
Don't know if there's many.
That's why you play GCA Division 1. Come on, don't be modest.
Oh, look, strengths in the game, I think, I'd like to think if the pressure situations, I can hang around and do a job and play a good team role. I'm never going to be the bloke that's going to probably slog up a quick 100 or take a fifer, but I get me twofers in my 30s week in, week out, and hopefully we can build a side around that sort of personnel.
And what would you call, say, one of your specialty deliveries?
The straight break.
The straight break.
And that probably would be it's the accuracy. I aim to tie up an end, which gives the fast bowlers a break.
Colin, we had a little chat off air and you're saying that even from the first 2 rounds you've noticed that the standard of the competition with some of the recruits that have come in is really lifted, and that's going to be something that we'll watch for the rest of the season as well in the GCA. We already mentioned Andrew Ferguson, but across all of the teams there seems to be just quality recruits that have come in and really lifted that standard just a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Getting like we played Bellpost Hill first game with Cairns coming from Vic Uni, I think it was, and blokes like that across the board. We're getting people from outside of Geelong. Jeff Young from Ballarat played at South Barham this week. You can see that they're quality cricketers, and I think most clubs have recruited those sort of players.
So just whereas the top six almost in the GCA last season really set themselves apart, can you see it being maybe a 7, 8, 9 team race for that top six towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I'd definitely put it probably 9 or 10 teams. It'd be hard pressed to see anybody out of the mix at the moment. The guys that have come into it have really strengthened it up.
The one-day fixtures versus the two-day fixtures, do you think that will start to sort the men out from the boys in some of these longer-term games?
I don't think so. The quality of the batting's good. And realistically, 85 overs in a lot of ways is an extended one-day game. So, the cream rises to the top, they say, and I think you'll find that it will, and the runs will keep coming. 2
unbeaten sides only after 2 rounds. East Belmont setting the pace out on top with Bellpost Hill. A very, very good sign. East Belmont always seem to have been able to attract a very sound combined team.
Always tougher to beat East Belmont. They do just seem to keep coming up, and guys like Dewey was playing 2s last year and he's reeled off 100 first game, so it says a lot about their depth, so they're always tough to beat.
You'll be hoping today, Colin, for a little bit of a less controversial victory, it's fair to say, from last weekend. Obviously, just talk us through everything that happened towards the end of that game when Alf just lofted one, and you obviously had the hose out there that was manning the boundary, and fortunate enough from your point of view that when the umpire went to the rulebook, it came out in your favour. It was ruled a 6 and obviously got you over the line against South Barwon.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of controversy with I think the change in the rule this year where you lean against the fence, you're still allowed to catch it. Doesn't work with a hose, thank goodness, and some good honesty from the South Barwon fielder who took the catch to say that he did stand on the hose, and the 6 stood. I think we needed about 20 or 4 overs when it went, so it was a fairly crucial time.
Yes, congratulations to umpire Rob Cooper and to the sportsman's pip of was Whittingham, wasn't it?
Yep, Steve Whittingham.
Steve Whittingham down there, and Alfie Clark, 48, not years of age, 48 runs. How many more for Jack Singh's record?
I think he's looking about 170, so he's made over 10,000 runs. That's a lot of Divi 1 runs, and he's still going strong.
And a lot of catches with the red cherry in the hands.
Yes, and he reminds us after every one that's another one on the record that somebody else will have to track down. So,
well, congratulations, Alan Alf Clark, and continue on for a great season. As we go to a break on the Geelong Cricket Show, we'll be back after this to review the Geelong Cricket Association in round 3 in Division 1. It's going to be a ripper.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong.